What is going on, everybody? We're back on it. My Hero, final season, episode 9, titled The Hellish Todoroki Family. So I guess this is going to kind of be the wrap up with Endeavor, Todoroki family, and all of it going forward. And I'm assuming that's what these last, because we only have 11 episodes left. So if this is fully dedicated to that, I'm assuming we're just go forward with maybe a little bit of a time skip to see kind of like not just the kids after Midoriya, Bakugo, others, but just the world going forward, because the climax of the entire series is done, to my knowledge, unless there's a sleeper All for One agent out there somewhere. Last episode, Shigaraki in All for One, not like, oh, we finally got a good blow on it. I'm talking fully defeated, like erased, essence, vestige, physical, all of it just done, wiped off, and that's it. So for me, I mean, we kind of talked about a little bit of the comments, and we'll talk about this when we do a season recap slash series recap. I'll probably have that be a separate video, unless we have the last video. You guys can let me know if you want the last video that we do, which will be in two Sundays from now. Have that be the final reaction, season wrap up and series wrap up. I mean, that could be an hour plus long reaction, or we kind of split those into two. Regardless, we talked about it. I think the storytelling and the emotion and the character building has been great this season. What was lacking for me, and it's good to see that it wasn't just me, because I mean, sometimes people have varying opinions on things, of like the final fight of it all felt a little lackluster. I didn't need a fight spanning across, 10 of the 11 episodes, and the last episode being kind of like a recap, but I feel like we really didn't get to see, the two pinnacles of supervillain, superhero going at it, using their abilities in differing ways. Now, again, you could say, All for One doesn't really use his abilities in these crazy, intricate, woven, super juiced up ways, which we have seen him a little bit. I feel like we saw him use more of his abilities in, good synergy when he was fighting All Might. What was that, 2 or so seasons ago, when he would use like muscle booster plus sprigs plus this plus regen, and he would like call out what he was stacking on top of each other. I felt like we saw more of that than we did here. And then just seeing a more in-depth use of Midoriya trying to figure out a way to get past the regen. Whether that requires him and Bakugo fighting in at the same time, I don't know. Maybe that's just my headcanon. Regardless, I feel like that's the only thing that's been lacking in this final of it all, is just the final, this is the supervillain, this is the superhero. The conflict it kind of fell flat. It missed for me. On top of Bakugo barely being able to stand against an infant on his last legs, but somehow blinking over here. But we had the end of Kurogiri, end of Shigaraki, end of All for One. And another aspect that I'm shocked with, nobody died. Not a single person died, whether they had direct contact with All for One here at the end, or just fighting in the, the other sub fights of, Hawks over here, Uravity over here. Everybody survives. Some of the, villains died, but aside from Star and Stripe and Night Eye, I might not be remembering across almost 200 episodes, but did we lose anybody else along the way? I could be missing a few, but I don't think we did, which is also shocking to me. Regardless, let's see what we get. High hopes that I would like to see in these remaining 3 episodes, because Midoriya is going to be full on quirkless, like All Might is right now. I'll be curious his mind going forward of like, will he kind of fall in more to being a teacher? Does he miss what he was able to do? And I'll be curious if they dive into that. And what I would really like to see, and really like to see them address, which I feel like they did a good job of showing, I hope they address it, is like, there's a subset out there, another group, the other side of the fence, that like, they don't like this world. They're kind of left and viewed at a certain light. Toga, Twice, the list goes on and on. Spinner, Shigaraki, for example, were like, They're looking for their own help, their own salvation. They're not happy with this world. You saw people actively rooting for Shigaraki to just burn it all down, destroy it. And he's stating, you know, I'm their hero. And the last message he had for Spinner and all that, I would like to see Midori or somebody address, like, reaching a hand out to the other side. You know, there's people out there like Gentle Criminal and all these type of things that just kind of get pushed in a certain direction or labeled in a box, and like, you know, where's their hero? Who's helping us? Like, we're just meant to be shit. I would love to see that addressed in some way. Do we ever get that? Who knows? We'll see. We have 3 episodes left. Let's jump into it and see what we get. Let us see what we get. Okay, so, and then that's another thing I did. Like the whole world got to watch this, which is like which is the reason why I'd like to see them address it. Of like, the entire world saw what happened out there, and there's people out there that are like Toga, Gentle Criminal, Twice, etc., that feel left out. All right, here we go. Wow, it's really over. Who's the telekinesis girl back there? Some of these people we've never seen. My man's over here. What does he have? Quirk Highway? Was he just printing streets? Are these different heroes from different countries? Excuse me if I'm squinting extra hard. We have no glasses going today. Oh. Oh yeah, it would have taken half a century to repair this country if it wasn't for these metahumans. They'll be able to blink. Edge shot? What about him? So his arm's gonna be... Is Edge Shot get to come out of there or what? I'm sure we'll see him. Edge Shot the real MVP, to be honest. If he doesn't do that, no one can take... No one would have been able to take on the rewinding all for one. It was a miracle you were able to... They said he traveled kilos to get over there? Yeah, I still don't get that part, but we'll just leave it as is. I was told that wasn't a well-received part, so glad that I'm not the only one that thinks that was crazy. Really did it. It's all over. Oh. So we need Eri to start really getting that quirk. He still wouldn't come join the other side. Mm-hmm. Which I'm glad that they did that, by the way. I'm glad it didn't turn into some let's defeat all for one together. I want to see him deliver that message to Spinner, too. He saved him from being fully controlled until the end of it all with the hatred. But he was still he was somebody in there. You weren't gonna be able to change that. It's so wild to me right now that, like, it's over. Yeah, he's gonna be, yeah, back, yeah, yeah. Mm-hmm. Yep. There's nothing for him to chase anymore. There's no more bridge to build. And there's probably never going to be a threat like what they faced, so maybe that might change, needing something to chase, but like that's a big... Just back to normal. Yeah. Vegeta without his Goku, bro. It's Vegeta without his Goku, man. There's nothing... It's nothing there anymore. Hmm. Because it wasn't even about, like, you know, I'm chasing Midori because the world we live in and what it's going to be is going to need it. It's like I'm chasing him because I want to be better. Yeah. Luckily for them, there's never going to be a great threat as that. Unless... Wouldn't that be crazy if we got a spin-off of that? Unless... What? Oh, I forget, like, how all of this happens in such a short amount of time, by the way. But, like, what are you gonna do? Have Shigaraki and All For One win? And then maybe give Midoriya, like, a 5 to 10 year time skip of, like, just, like, cultivating One For All in the shadows? Getting stronger and stronger. Like, this is a group of kids that did this, by the way. That is pretty crazy once you think about it. No Star and Stripe came in, no All Might from another country. Endeavor didn't rally Hawks and others to, like, meet the threat head on. It was a group of first-year students. It wasn't some third-year students, the big three. Like, no. Everyone had their parts to play, but, like... At the end of the day, it was 2 first-year students. And a group of first-year students. I mean, what are you going to do story-wise? Aside from a time skip. Remember when we thought the principal was... He was the rat? Oh, I wanted it to be a teacher or the principal so bad. What was that all the way back in season 1? Oh, man. My true superhero. Oh, Mirio. His like side buzz, he's got a rock right now. Man, serious. Someone's got to stand up. He just dropped naked again? Oh, okay. 2A. And Midoriya's got to go through the rest of school in 2A with no abilities. That's crazy. Todoroki's there in the back, everybody. Someone moving up to the A? Shinso? Oh, he's leaving. To just a different school, or like he's just done with this? Yeah. I like that. I like that. So is Aizawa permanently without the eye? You have to ask your questions. What is really permanent, you know? If the story chooses to use area or not, which I don't think the story will use it here in the next 3 episodes, but for someone as close to... Yeah. He was moving up anyway. We knew Shinso was moving up. Yeah. We knew that. We knew that. All the attentions... Yeah. Given Aizawa and Aries' relationship, everyone's gonna see her. If there was an opportunity to help rewind anybody, she would do it for Aizawa. We've never seen her before, I don't think. New third-year student. Yeah, so somebody could start to, you know, stoke the embers of a new rising. I like her character design. Is that the first time we've ever seen her? Damn. I feel like we'll never see her again. And that was the first time ever. That is a true statement. There's no symbol right now, and everybody knows that. Good or bad. If there was ever a chance to like slowly start an uprising, or really start an uprising, the world is in chaos, it would be now. And I don't know how much of the world really knows about the whole vestige, all for one, everything building, stacking. But this might be the best chance for a supervillain to rise ever. That is no longer a thing. Might just be dealing with some regular heroes from now on if anybody's feeling froggy enough to be evil. Endeavor said he's done too, right? Being a hero, I think. I don't like this. They've all got these crazy burns from the fight, yeah. Where are they going? He's alive. I thought he died. What is the plan here? What's the plan here? I need to go back and read what they said right before they said that's what awaits Toya. Like, he can never be released. Right. I don't give a damn who's vouching for him. Yeah, we knew he was retiring. Uh-huh. Wait, he's gonna be wheelchair bound for the rest of his days? For real, or he's just rehabbing? Don't do Endeavor like that. So I'm here to watch. I'll be watching. Yeah. Yeah, we gotta leave. Mental's not ready for this. Mental's not ready for this. Everyone's... You're overwhelming. We're overwhelming in way too much. Relax, 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 relax. Yeah. Chill. I don't know if he'll ever be able to, like, physically leave that chamber tube ever. Yakisoba, perhaps? I can't believe he survived. Just from the ice and flame damage enough, I cannot believe he survived. Yeah. That's fair. That's fair. He gave it a shot. Damn. Damn. I mean, I respect the brother's decision. He gave it a shot. Doesn't feel any different. Can't let it go. It's fine. He tried. Hmm. Hmm. I'm so curious what Shoto thinks. And May's gonna stay by his side is crazy. Everybody from the agency. He does have them. It's gonna be, like he said, the sun said, it's gonna be hell. Every time the family gets together, it's gonna be just, but he has them that could really, and he's got her. The Hawks and Endeavor relationship is great. But I feel bad for Hawk. That's his superhero, by the way. That's so crazy. Two of my favorites, and I'm sure it's favorites for a lot of people. Hawks, Quirk. Not even just like, oh, maybe there's a chance, you know, he can get his wings rewound, or someone's got like a heal all quirk. Like, that thing got taken. Ah, man, that quirk got taken. And then Endeavor, again, it's hard to tell in this aftermath of everything of like what is permanent damage to people, what's not. You see them talking about, you know, Bakugo's arm, you know, it probably will, but when stories leave the wiggle room of like it probably won't ever be the same, usually they can get it back. Again, I don't know how far deep they take that. Maybe they're in a time skip, we see, you know, he's able to get his arm back to a pretty decent spot. Is Endeavor wheelchair bound for life? That would be, between that, him being wheelchair bound and without an arm, and Hawks never having an ability again, is pretty sad. It's pretty sad. I want to go to what did that guard say? What did he say? Slowly but surely he's a... Oh. They said slowly but surely he's approaching his death. So he's dying. Like, you know, they have him hooked up to all this, you know, he's on his Darth Vader shit to, you know, sustain him, but that's not this isn't a suitable thing where they can just sustain him like this forever. You guys fill me in on kind of like what's the physical fate that awaits him, right? Even if he stays in this incubated state, you know, he might never be able to be taken off of the respirator tube help support system. What kind of life is that, you know? It gives the family moments to, like, you know, come and see him and visit him, but what a way. I don't know if he can ever leave that. Number one, just from a living standpoint. Number two, we can't let your ass out ever, by the way. You're going to be confined. I would say, like, oh, maybe they pull some strings for Endeavor, but they shouldn't. That's a whole other morality question. Should he not be? What awaits him? But I'm curious of, like, the actual definition of his fate going forward, and then seeing the two of them side by side. It's pretty crazy. Did we get a side-by-side shot, or was it just the overhead shot? I think it's just the overhead shot. And yeah, seeing, essentially, like I said, Vegeta losing his Goku. It's not about, like, oh, you know, come on, Midoriya, we've got an all-for-one to defeat. I can't do this without you. Or, like, come on, Goku, how are we ever going to defeat Frieza or Cell or Jiren? Like, the world needs you. It wasn't even about that. It was like, Like, you were the rabbit that I chased. Like, you were pushing me to be better, be great. And as much as, and we've seen Bakugo kind of like the walls come down over the seasons. Like, oh, you know, I'll hate you, I'll do it. I don't know where you got this quirk from, what makes you think you're so better, but, you know, I'll surpass you, or you got this given to you, it's not even yours, blah, blah, blah. No, like, he was like, that's you, I will be better. And that's gone. And it's never coming back. And it, like, kind of quells the fire inside of you. And, you know, just the remorse he feels of always, you know, picking on him and other things, and that's just gone and never coming back. Somebody did bring this up, and it's crazy to think they had to become the world's greatest heroes, superheroes, first-year students going against the end of the world supervillains, by the way. That's crazy to me. You know, Endeavor had parts to play, and Star and Stripe had parts to play. But it wasn't like we had some crazy superhero busted third-year students, you know, teaming up with us or doing it. It was some first-year students. You could say, you know, Midoriya's got, you know, the most busted ability in the story. So it's like, alright, first-year student, I get it. But the rest of them, point blank, just first-year students having to get in there and save the world. And now we just go back to school. It's crazy. All of it's crazy. But again, it's like, what can you do? You could have a time skip to where maybe they fail because they're kids and because they're students, and Hawk's getting his taken, and Endeavor sacrificing himself and still not it being able to be enough. And maybe All For One or Shigaraki, whoever ends up winning the mental of that body, does win and take over. But Midoriya survives, Bakugo survives, and a decent amount of the kids survive. And they work on building it back up, and we see Midoriya fast forward 2 to 5 years from now with even a higher accelerated one for all. The Vestiges is really going, and he comes back and runs it again. I mean, that's the only way you can make that make sense, is with a time skip. Other than that, they are fresh out of what? Are these, because I always get it confused when they talk about Japanese school. Are these high school age kids or these middle school age kids? Are these kids that are like 10 to 13, or are these kids that are like 15 to 18? I always get it confused. Regardless, it's young as hell. You've been tasked with saving the world. Sorry. Somebody's got to do it. I do kind of like the Ayama part 2 of stepping aside, and I feel like it's needed to just like come take a seat with the rest of us is turning a blind eye to things. And I like them kind of talking about it here of, you know, I wasn't able to save him. And you did save him. You saved him from the hatred. And now, just like you are to others, like he was others' friends. He was their best friends. He was their hero. Like that aspect of it all. And respect, I do respect the other Todoroki son of like, I tried, and I'm just not going to be able to. This is probably the last time you guys will see me. You know, siblings, I'm here for you guys. Father, it's just not going to happen. I respect that, because again, it's not going to change. You know, I give it an effort that he even tried. Seeing the wife side by side, that's, call it love, abuse, but no, we'll call it love. A lot there. That's a lot. I'm very curious to see what these final two. Do we get any time skip, we think? I would think so. I would like to see a slight time skip of the kids being out of school. Some of them maybe becoming teachers. Some of them maybe becoming sidekicks. Some of them maybe becoming full-on pro heroes, running their own agencies and kids underneath them. Some of them working together. Maybe some of the kids even getting married off to each other. And, you know, I'd be curious to see, you know, Japan's top 10 hero list. You know, of like, maybe it'll include a Miria or a Bakugo, or, you know, something. I would like to see kind of like what comes after, and then just Midoriya and his storyline of being quirkless. You were doing all these, because I mean, and again, I don't think, will it eat him up that he's not able to do the things, because it was such short-lived. He went from like no quirk to the quirk to no quirk again. And that's got to be a lot to, especially as you build these relationships with people that have these abilities that you fought with side by side, did these things, and they're going to go on. And not saying that he can't become maybe a lower level police officer or something like that, but like, what does a sidekick life look like, or a hero like, if that's what he, you know, would want to do? It's a lot. It's a lot. I'll be curious to see what the story does. Again, I would like to see them reach out or address the other side of the aisle. The gentle criminal side, the spinner side, the toga side, of like the ones that feel like they've been left behind, feel like they've been cornered into being bad or villain because of their quirk, or because they're not understood, or because of their appearance. And yeah, 2 episodes left. It's wild seeing this, knowing that there's not a All For One threat or a Shigaraki threat out there at the moment. There was ever a time anyone felt like they were like close to being a busted villain. Now's the time to rise up. So we'll see. We'll leave it there and see. We got 2 episodes left. See what we get. Appreciate it, everybody. Like, share, subscribe, and as always,